welcome. You're watching Closing Trades here on ET Now. I'm Harsaita, 0.5% lower on the Nifty. It's been a bit of a subdued kind of a day, if I can call it that. Every attempt at recovery has been sold into. We've not been able to even edge into the green for even a wee bit, just maybe a couple of times. But outside of that, it's been an extremely tough day where the markets are concerned. The Nifty 50, of course, down 0.5%, and within that basket, you've got Adani Enterprises up 2%, one of the gainers. Within the banks, Axis is up 1%, and Eternal, outside of that basket, within consumption, Eternal and Trent are also up nearly 1% each. And that's how difficult it has been. The breadth also is currently in the red, where the Nifty 50 is concerned, just about 20 advances for 30 declines. But essentially, it's a fairly range-bound kind of move across the Nifty 50 counters. Infi, Aisha Motors are the top losers, 3% lower on Infi. Aisha Motors down 2.5%. But thereafter, Tata Motors, PV, JSW Steel are some of the other casualties of the day, down around 2% odd. No big movers on either side. At least that is the one possible positive coming out of markets today on the Nifty 50 at least. Let's talk about some sectors. 1% higher on the Nifty India Defence Index. That's the one really standing out. Nifty Auto is down nearly 1% thereabouts. The Nifty Bank providing no support, 1/3% lower. IT down 1.8%. After what's been a fairly strong week, IT is in withdrawal mode. We're down around 2%. The biggest losers within that IT pack, Infi down 3.5%, Infosys down 2.5%, Coforge down 2%, Tech Mahindra down nearly 2%. So that's broadly some of the names within the IT pack which are facing some heat. Mind you, Infosys buyback begins today. So that's the other piece that you want to keep on your radar. Pharma, PSU banks are the other ones which are doing okay on a day like this. Pharma up around 0.25% thereabouts, has been one of the leaders this week in terms of sectors. PSU banks up 0.5% thereabouts. So that's the other one that's standing out in trade today. And within the PSU banking counters, the ones which are standing out, Canara Bank, Bank of Maharashtra and Bank of India. All of those are gaining 1% plus in trade. So you've got some names obviously to look at. Within broader markets, again, the Nifty small cap absolutely flat. The mid cap also slight bit of outperformance. That's been the case pretty much all through the day. But some real movers. Okay, 0.25% higher on the Nifty small cap and has been in the green all through the day. The Nifty mid cap has slipped, but definitely some bit of outperformance is visible on your screen. KRBL, Muthoot Finance, Ather are just some of the big gainers in trade today. KRBL is up 12%. Muthoot Finance is up 9.5%. Ather Industries is the other one, is up nearly 8.5%. And this is the second straight day where Ather is gaining, mind you. The 32% margin when the guidance or the target or the aspiration is just 29 to 30%. So you're seeing that kind of move on an Ather Industries visibly today. And Ipca Lab is the other one. A Bharat Dynamics up 6.5%. A Bajaj Holding also up 5%. Star Health is up 4.5%. So some very big movers, at least within broader markets, visible. Sonata Software is the big casualty. The top loser on the Nifty 500 index, 4.5% lower for Sonata Software. Their annual guidance and their Q2 not really matching up, and therefore you're seeing that kind of pressure. Polymedi, 3.3% lower. Supreme Industries is the other one which is not doing as well, and Infosys among the top 5 losers on the Nifty 500. So that's something that really stands out as well. JM Financial seeing a bit of a pullback after the kind of move it saw yesterday. So you want to keep that one on your radar as well. Kunal, what are you spotting? Firstly, welcome. Good afternoon. What are you spotting?
Yeah, good afternoon. So it's a listless day for the markets as such, frankly, because, 50, 70 points down for the Nifty and almost 150 odd points for the Bank Nifty, indicates that the markets are into maybe a range kind of a mode. But it's interesting to see because, with the event out of the way, with the, election results out from the state side, we could now be expecting that the markets would get back in alignment with, what happens across the globe. We hit, the level of 25,700 thereabouts on the spot levels on an intraday basis. So that indicates that we probably would have tested a minor support for the index over the near term. but nothing much to write away in terms of the index composition, the sector strength. We are still looking at a point where the market breadth is not favoring the overall market trend. There have been instances earlier when the Nifty has been down 50, 100 points, but the net market breadth apparently has been positive. That generally gels up, with the overall market sentiment. But this time around, the trend is a little bit different, where you're seeing the net market breadth still negative. So, just to sum it up, maybe expecting the index to remain to a range for the next couple of days. Depends on how the global market action shapes up.
Okay. And Kunal, on the IT index, your call, would you be cautious at this point?
Not really. I think the adjustment for Infosys, I think, was one of the key triggers which was there. Because if you look at the last couple of days, the futures were at a 10-point discount for Infosys, and that now has come back into premium. So maybe that could be an adjustment which you're seeing, which could play out, which has played out. I now believe that we may probably be coming back towards a point where the trade would start to look a lot more attractive in terms of risk reward for the IT names. So names like Persistent, Coforge, HCL Tech, Infosys, TCS. I think these are some strong names to look at purely from a contra buy perspective.
Okay. All right. So yes, you've got some of those in focus. Let's go across. We have Kanishka standing by on Bharat Dynamics. Okay. So we'll have that up in a couple of minutes. But let's talk, Kunal, about some of the losers of the day. In fact, let's talk about one winner, Eternal. We've seen a bit of a reversal on that counter. We've seen a couple of days where the stock has been subdued. We're seeing that reversal play out today. What's the outlook like?
For 5 consecutive weeks, the stock is correcting from 360 to now 300 levels, where the stock is taking some support. I believe that somewhere down the line, you would probably expect the stock to stabilize, because you can't have a consistent bout of multi-week downtrend for the stock price, because that brings the indicators into very deep oversold territories, and that itself becomes a good risk reward point for contra traders to buy for these stocks after 5 weeks of a straight correction. So I think in that sense, I would actually expect Eternal to start going to a bounce back mode from here on. What matters over here is now if the degree of bounce back, if the bounce back takes the stock to say 310, 320 odd levels, then we can expect that this could be a more of a mean reversion bounce back. But if it takes the stock higher towards 325, 330 plus mark, which means that the longer term trend is still intact for Eternal. So it depends now on the next degree of bounce back for the stock price. But broadly, I would expect 300 as a crucial pivot support for Eternal to and the stock to hang around to these levels over the near term.
Okay. Kunal, your picks for this afternoon?
Yeah, so I'll go with a couple of buy calls. Vodafone Idea is something which I've been highlighting, so maintain that buy, but a fresh target of 11.5 at current levels. The stock is closer to 10.8 thereabouts on the spot level. So I would look out for 11.5 as a target, or the next target for Vodafone Idea. Stop loss could be kept at 10.5. And the second would be a buy on Axis Bank. Now this could be a surprise in the private sector banking names, because the stock is showing a lot of strength over here at 1230, 1235 plus mark. So would look out for Axis Bank. Higher targets closer to 1280, and stop loss could be kept at 1220.